everyone, welcome back to today's video. How are you guys doing? I trust and believe you are doing great. I'm also doing great here. Yes, today's video is all about loss of appetite in toddlers. Loss of appetite in toddlers. Yes, they are human beings. Even though they are toddlers, they are human beings like we adults. And as we adults tends to lose appetite at a point in time, sometimes you don't just feel like eating, you don't feel like taking anything. The same thing happens to them. Sometimes they don't just feel like eating, and when this happens, most especially for those of them that eat moderately, those that we eat, even if it's small quantity they are going to eat, it will be without stress. You don't have to stress them. They will eat joyfully. And when such a child refuses to eat at a point in time, the next thing should not be resolving to force feeding. Instead, you should actually look out for, okay, what is making this child to not want to eat this particular food? Is it because the child did not like the food, or is it because something else is going wrong? We should actually try to look out for something. If it's an adult now, you are having loss of appetite, before you know it, you'll be suspecting malaria. You have headache, before you know it, you'll be thinking it's typhoid. But for them, until they are unable to do those things they always do, that's when we actually know something is wrong. Until they start running temperature, that's when we notice maybe something is wrong. So we don't know. So when such a thing happens, when you notice lots of appetite in a child that always eats moderately, we should try and look out for the cause. Yes, it may be fever, it may be illness. Another point I'll be talking about is giving junks in between meals. Giving junks, sometimes when we are busy, we might even be busy in the kitchen preparing the family meal, and because that particular child or that particular toddler is coming around to disturb, you give this, you give that, you give this, you give, and when you are done cooking, you still expect that child to eat. It doesn't work, because before you know it, the tummy is filled with those junks. As in their tummy, their stomach is filled up already, and until there is space, there is nothing you can do to make that child eat. If you try to force feed such a child, you force feed, the child vomits, and you still have to take your time to do the cleaning. Yes, you have to clean up the house and also clean up the child. You have to clean up the house and clean up the child. Yes, another point I'll be talking about is excessive fluid intake. Except what? I'm not talking about water now. Excessive fluid intake, like all this artificial drink, all this artificial drink you give in the morning, all these things tends to fill their tummy up. All these things fill up their tummy, and once the stomach is filled up, there's nothing you can do. Just like I said, there's nothing you can do to make that child, the child will be feeling okay already. The child will be feeling as if he or she has already eaten. Since once the tummy is filled, the child will be okay, no matter how delicious the food you've prepared is, no matter how attractive it looks, the child will not even be interested at all. So as mothers, we need to always watch out for this. When you want a child to eat, you monitor the way you give junks or drinks. Yes, when their tummy is empty, they are likely to eat, even though it's not going to be plenty, if it's not going to be many, they are likely to eat. Another point I'll be talking about is serving excessive portion of food, the food that that child cannot actually finish. Maybe for a 2 or 3 years, 4 years old toddler now, you just fill the plate, maybe because you see a friend or a neighbor child which is the same age with your own child eating that quantity of food. No, it doesn't work like that. So these are the things that actually cause loss of appetite in toddlers. Yes, and we need to actually watch out for all these things. When it is fever, they need to be taken to the hospital to be assessed and for adequate treatment. And for junks, minus the fact that it will not allow your child to feed well, or let me say to feed on the needed nutrients, minus that fat is not even good for the child. It can cause obesity in that child. You understand? It can cause obesity in the child. It is not a healthy way of life. As far as it is not good for we adults, too much of it too is not good for the toddlers. It's not good for them. So if you have actually watched up to this point and you have, or you know of any other reason or any other causes of loss of appetite in toddlers, please drop in the comment section below. I will be there to read, also to learn from you. And I would also like you to like this video, give it a huge thumbs up, like, drop comments, share, and if you are yet to subscribe, please kindly subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye guys.